Events in the Middle East continue to develop, and disturbingly so. Nobody that I have read is saying that there is a 100% guarantee that there is going to be a wider war, but everybody I'm reading from all sorts of different walks of ideological opinion are saying that that all out war has got that much closer. And this all kind of started with the Israeli detonation of pages and low tech communications equipment used by Hezbollah leaders in Lebanon, the deaths there, then the assassination of Hassan Nasrallah, the Hezbollah leader, Iran's missile attack, definitely aimed to inflict as much damage as possible, not doing so. The only casualty appears to have been a Palestinian in the West Bank. The threat, we don't know yet what that reprisal is going to be, but some form of Israeli reprisal, some form of attack on Iranian infrastructure seems certain relatively soon. And there is now acknowledged fighting between Hezbollah and IDF ground forces inside of Lebanon, and the IDF bombardment of what they say are selected targets within Lebanon generally and Beirut specifically continue. We're joined now via Zoom by Kabalan Frangieh, who is the Lebanese ambassador to South Africa. Good afternoon. From your perspective in South Africa, what do you make of developments in your home country and in the region?
Well, first, thank you for having me. Since the beginning of this war, we in the government have been calling for de-escalation and for a ceasefire in Gaza. And fearing that this war, if it continues, it can spill over to the whole region and maybe beyond. Unfortunately, what we are seeing now is a full-blown conflict that is involving many countries and is involving us specifically as a sovereign country. We are very worried in Lebanon about the developments, and again, our position is to have a ceasefire uh, immediately and to de-escalate the situation.
Um, the Lebanese government's role in this, I mean, how much influence does the Lebanese government have, given the what some might describe as the sort of outsized influence that a non-parliamentary group like Hezbollah has on events in Lebanon? You don't have a president at the moment, perhaps because presidential elections haven't been possible, because Hezbollah has refused to sanction or to allow any of the candidates. So it's surely an extra difficulty when Hezbollah and the Lebanese government are separate.
First, please allow me not to agree with your analysis about Lebanese internal politics, but I'm not here to discuss that. Let's first discuss the most important issue, which is the possible ground invasion on a sovereign country. I'll get back to the government Hezbollah dynamics as you mentioned, but in 2024, it's not allowed anymore for a country to invade another country the way and aggress another country the way we are witnessing now between Lebanon and Israel. We have seen 8 days ago a day in which 500 people were killed. Among them, 97% among them are civilians. This is contrary to international law, because in your introduction you said targeted. Probably some attacks are targeted, but now in southern suburb of Beirut, we are seeing carpet bombings, buildings, empty buildings being destroyed, Gaza-like, using the same playbook used in Gaza. And let me say, when you don't apply international law for decades, when there is no respect for human rights, when there is an oppression and an occupation and and treatment of people and dehumanization of people, you have to expect people to defend themselves. Uh, the right of self-defense is the only right given to oppressed people to defend themselves against the oppressor. So Lebanon was attacked many times and invaded, and our land occupied for decades by Israel. It's not Lebanon attacking Israel. Even in the past, before Hezbollah was there, we have been attacked by Israel, and our land occupied before Hezbollah even existed. So we have a history of being aggressed by Israel. And this is not due to us, rather due to the nature of Israel. I mean, from the beginning of its inception, it's an occupying force, and it's a force that has been aggressing its neighbors. Many Arab countries have their land occupied by Israel, and not vice versa, including inside Palestine, where the whole
I
world knows, and the international community as well, has pressed Israel for many years to have negotiations with the Palestinians to have a Palestinian state, because as you know, the West Bank is officially occupied according to the United Nations and all the nations, including the United States of America, who recognize that those are occupied territories, and in Gaza
Mr.
and in
Ambassador,
Palestine.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm getting lots of messages from listeners now who are supporters of Israel, and they are saying, what about the aggression against the people of Israel? What about Hezbollah rockets? What about October the 7th? And I mean, at some point there will be peace. How much damage will have been done, what the prospects will be for economic reconstruction, for Palestinian statehood, for Jewish Israeli citizen security at the end of another 6 months of fighting, another 2 years of fighting, another 5 years of fighting. We simply can't predict at the moment. But we somehow have to find a way out of this cycle of attack and counterattack, attack and
I agree.
reprisal, reprisal to reprisal, and I'm completely
We
lost
agree.
as to how that is going to happen.
We agree. As I mentioned at the
Yeah,
beginning, we and government, I speak on behalf of my government, we are for ceasefire, immediate ceasefire, and for de-escalation since 1 year. Now, the problem is that things went out of hand in Gaza with the, I mean, massive mass murdering of people, and things spilled out of hand, and the situation is very serious and very dangerous. This is why we want the end of the cycle of violence, and we think that returning the people to North Israel should be through diplomatic ways and not through violence. That's exactly my point. We have a resolution that has been working for a while between us and Israel, 1701, and should be it's a framework and a process, and should be the best tool for us to resolve these issues and to de-escalate. The situation is seriously dangerous, and this is why we are calling for the respect of this resolution. It has been violated many times in the past, especially by our airspace was violated thousands of times during the last 18 years. But this resolution remains as the best tool to solve these issues. Let me add that, I mean, to be frank with you, because I know that you have people asking questions. On the 8th of October, Hezbollah did not attack Israel. Hezbollah attacked the occupied, we have occupied territories by Israel, the Sheba Farms, the Farshuba Hills, and a lot of other, we have 13 points on the blue line, which are breach of the line, which are belong to Lebanon. We have also the city of the village of Gajar. So the Hezbollah did not attack Israel, attacked the Lebanese occupied territory on the 8th of October. And then there was a retaliation, and as you mentioned, a retaliation. And we are calling for the end of this and for the de-escalation of the situation.
thank you very much. That's the Lebanese ambassador in South Africa, Kabalan Frangieh.